The Bitcoin world would argue decentralization is really important for security. Obviously, Bitcoin is the most decentralized network in the world. It's the most secure computer network in the world. As you mentioned earlier, it has proven to be a fantastic store of value over a long period of time, decade plus. But it sounds like you're actually making a different argument, which is like maybe the ultimate goal of some of this technology is not decentralization because the security component of it isn't nearly as important as the efficiency. Like if you think of those two as a trade-off, so you get security or you get efficiency at the layer one, it sounds like you're making, the efficiency is where there's tons of value to unlock.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's a ton of value to decentralize the US dollar. If people want to send US dollars, they could do it more effectively. Yeah, we've seen that. We've seen people try to do that before. But yeah, for the Bitcoin world, that is the most important thing. Decentralization is king. Like Bitcoin is just a child safety lock. We're protecting ourselves from ourselves, and that's why it exists, and that's why it's going to be a tens of trillions, hundreds of trillions of dollar asset. But for the US dollar, I mean, businesses want to send US dollars places. Like that's the world we live in currently, and you have a way more efficient way to do it. There's no need to be cosmic brained about this. I mean, a dollar is a dollar. There's going to be centralization on the back end. Now, if that entire kind of regime is going to fall, that's a different conversation. But yeah, there's no need to decentralize. I mean, you just need reliable kind of proof of reserves. You need an easy on-ramp for that. And you get more people involved in the ecosystem. That's good for Bitcoin ultimately, which is a decentralized store of value that we have.
You mentioned that Bitcoin is a child safety lock. What does Bitcoin as a child safety lock mean?
It's just there's a fixed money supply in Bitcoin, and we can't bring ourselves to do that. It's like that scene in Limitless where he says, there's no safeguards for human nature. Why don't we just like crack a beer and live off the interest? We can't do that. That's the innovation of Bitcoin is we are preventing ourselves from inflating the currency. There's no way to change the currency value. That is a child safety lock, and that's why it's valuable. It's just protecting humanity from its worst inclinations.
So I think you, myself, many people who are watching this, they get that. Do the corporations yet understand this, or are they so focused on efficiency and the kind of the conservative approach to their balance sheets that is a secondary thought they may have later, but right now they're just focused on dollars?
The truth, I would love to have a company that like 24/7 focuses on Bitcoin on the balance sheet, but it wouldn't be much of a company. Like we wouldn't do a Series A. We have that as an option. We kind of, nudge people like, hey, Bitcoin's great, right? So we're gonna do our part there, just to be clear. But what they care about is 24/7 settlement right now of US dollars, low fee transacting, things they can't get from Fedwire and ACH, things they can't get from their legacy bank accounts. So we are at Meow, we believe we've built a better solution for them, and that's largely on the US dollar rails with the ability to buy Bitcoin seamlessly from that same account.
What about things like payroll? Like one of the big problems in the legacy financial system is that people only get paid every other week, twice a month or once a month. And there's tons and tons of studies that show, I think it was in 2019, the top 4 banks made like $8 billion of overdraft fees.
Yep.
And when you go and you actually analyze those overdraft fees, in many cases, it's not that the people don't have the money, it's that their grocery bill came in on the 12th, then their car payment came in on the 13th, Netflix hits on the 14th, bam, they get paid on the 15th, but they actually overdrafted on the 13th and 14th because the paycheck hadn't hit yet. And so if we were simply able to pay people at the end of every day, it would drastically eliminate, one, the overdraft fees and that kind of whole part of the legacy banking system, but also two, is it would give people more economic freedom and flexibility. And so is that something that stable coins or kind of these crypto rails could help solve?
Yeah, certainly. You can't really do that in legacy finance. I mean, it's not a good UX. Things like layer 2s can help with that. Right now, the gas is too high to do like microtransactions on a fraction of a USDC. But things like layer 2s can help, and you can even do that, partially in a database, partially on chain. But yeah, you're certainly right. That's a real use case. Like when we talk about real use cases, I think stablecoins are dominating for legacy finance. Stablecoins are king, and we see their adoption about to blow up in a good way. And I think that's ultimately very, very good for Bitcoin. I mean, it gets everyone thinking about this space, and they start thinking, okay, this is how I'm using my payment rails. There's a much easier way to buy Bitcoin now with this, and that's kind of where we plug into that too.